Okay, so it's time for a runic journey update. It's been, I suppose, something worth retelling or translating, coming to understand. Yesterday afternoon, after getting home from work, I made the time to sit down and close Gabo off from my aura and accept my new rune into my aura, which my wife kind of, I don't want to say caught me doing, but noticed I was doing something, which she asked me why I was being a little bit weird. I mean, I kind of dismissed it at the time, which probably was, I know, a little bit wrong of me, a little bit, I don't know, it's probably one of those, I don't know, latent things where you play down sort of doing stuff. Even now I'm doing it. It's that sort of, I don't know, it's not shame or reluctance to talk about it. I mean, it's an awkwardness in talking about it when you're doing something, and I don't know, having someone catch you in the process of it or asking about it when, I know, on occasion, especially unprepared, you're not ready to talk about it. So that's the first little part of this video. The other thing being, I had a rather potent dream last night, to the point that when I woke up I immediately reached for my phone to check some things, and sorry Anita, but I messaged you straight away with the details of the dream. Look forward to chatting about that later when you surface. But I was having my dream. Some of the details aren't really important, I don't think, because it was just, I don't know, wacky dream stuff. And one of the things I can find to be difficult as someone who can lucid dream, someone who can lucid dream, sometimes the hardest thing is to not influence your dream, just let it play out. But anyway, it's one word formed in the dream, Mannaz, and it became powerful and repetitive and really the focus of the dream. And then, sort of as a final sort of image before waking, it was like a sea with runes floating in it. And that's how I initially felt it should be described. But, and again, this is probably something I've had sort of subtly put into my mind. It's almost like, not so much a sea, but perhaps a well, or more a case of a transparent bowl that you could see all the different runes floating around in. I say it wasn't sort of an aggressive current of water, or it was, I don't know, hands swirling the water, moving it around. It was just almost like that, the tranquility of water with runes idly floating around in it, twisting around, and sort of images sort of almost catching the light. And they were just runes. It was just the runes in the water. They weren't sort of set on anything like my runes are on stones, or Jade recently got a set of runes that have been burnt into wood. Quite nice. They were just the runes. I suppose probably just energy. So yeah, this overwhelming focus on the word Mannaz, and the fact, I suppose the other thing was starting to sort of think consciously that I'm going to wake up and I'm going to check the rune, and a false feeling of the fact that I'm gonna look on the internet and it's gonna be my rune, the rune I picked on Wednesday, but also the counter voice inside saying it's not gonna be that one, because you're being too overconfident. You want it to be the link between this dream and you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be the rune. So obviously alarms go off, we get up, Jade gets up, and I reach for my phone, do the internet search, look up Mannaz and go, huh, okay, it's not my rune. Obviously it's very similar, and then obviously I also looked up my rune, so, and I now have Ehwaz, and it is very similar to Mannaz. And now I have to think about that. I mean, it's that sort of, now, as I've set into motion my way of doing things, tomorrow would have been the day I looked it up, but because of the dream and vibes, I've looked it up today, and looking up both Ehwaz and Mannaz, and sort of looking at them with the interest that the runes and explanations for them suggest. So there's a lot to process now and to think about, but that's the experience that's happened over the last, I suppose, 12 hours or so, and obviously some things, even talking about it on here, I'm still have that ridiculous notion that even sort of like with my wife, I can be a little bit hesitant about talking about this stuff, which is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. It really is, that these things happen, such as the notion that we have to suppress these sort of things even amongst our loved ones, our friends and our allies. But I suppose it's the journey, and I need to try better, accept, and look to sort of accepting these signs and move forward. So that's interesting. One of the reasons for, again, I've pretty much accelerated by a day the transference of the runes within me and storing the ones I've already drawn. So something to note, and see where we go from here. If you watched this video, thank you. It means a lot, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.